Hey, hello. Why am I never looking in the camera? The camera's there. And I don't know why I'm never looking in the camera. Why I'm always looking off to the side. Strange. So I guess you have to put up with me looking sideways. Hey Nathan, how you doing? Hey Lizzie. You still alive after the earthquake then? We've been forecast a storm, but it was a big one, was it? Yeah, we've been forecast a storm, but so far we've just had a bit of heavy rain. Not the high wind that was forecast, thank goodness. And I don't know how I would cope if there was an earthquake. We did have a teensy-weensy little quake when I lived in Prestwich once, many years ago. Everything shook in the house, and I think some things fell off the... How's my hand? Stitches are out. It looks little, but it's blooming sore. I'm managing to do a little bit of knitting, but I'm running out of wool. I don't have enough wool to do long sleeves. So I'm on sleeves, but I'm doing short ones now because I'm running out of wool. Ah. Yeah, it looks okay. It's just sore. And it's still numb. Hi, Shan. Shan knows all about numb, don't you, Shan? I don't mean numb head, I mean numb parts of her body. She's got more numb bits than I've got, yeah. I've just got a numb hand. And numb feet if you count neuropathy. So I'm knitting very slowly, hoping that my wool manages to make at least short sleeves. Yeah. So come on, I've got 13 people and only 4 thumbs up. Somebody's not giving me a thumbs up. I'm glad there's not an option to do any other kind of signal. Hi, Christine. How are you doing? The flowers are still hanging on, Christine. Not all alive, but a lot of them still are. Yeah, I'm knitting very slowly. Hi, Trudy. We're supposed to be having all kinds of weather and stuff like that. And so far, touching wood, we've been let off quite lightly. We've just got a bit of heavy rain and wind. But considering what they threatened us with, you know, maybe you're getting it for a change down there, Shan. You normally get the good weather when we don't. So maybe we're going to avoid it. Hopefully we will. Yeah. We get a lot of wind here being so close to the sea anyway, so, you know. It looked so sunny and lovely, you know. I was hoping, I thought, shall I go out today? Shall I? And then I thought, no, with my luck, I'll get halfway wherever I'm going and the heavens will open. Anyway, I'm waiting for the scooter man. Guess what? My tyres are bald yet again. How long have I had those tyres? 2 months? 3 months maximum? They're bald. Yeah, so I've messaged him and said, you know, guess what? The tyres are bald again. So I think it's a design fault on that scooter. I can't see it being totally the roads around here, although they are shocking. But I think it's the tracking on the scooter. You know, it feels like it's going like that when it's going down the road. And I said to my son, will you get on the scooter and see if it... I feel as though the handlebars are doing that. So we got on the scooter and went a little ride up the road, and he said, no, it's your tyres, mother, they're completely bald again. Hi, Magali. So I messaged the scooter man, and he said he'll order me some new tyres, but how long that will be, I don't know. So once again, I am riding a scooter with ball tyres. It's a good job I'm not on the main road, isn't it? I could get pulled over. I don't know whether it's an offence to drive a mobility scooter with ball tyres. I'm sure the police will think of something. Hi, Munchkin. I'm sure they would think of some way to make it stick. I can't help it, though. It's a rental. I'm not in charge of the tyres. All I do is report it, you know. My tyres are worn out. My friend's batteries are worn out. We're a good pair. Thelma and Louise are not doing very well with the scooters this week. So we shall see. So anyway, how is everybody? You're having storm strength winds, Trudy, yeah. We seem to be getting let off lightly, but, you know, maybe it will happen overnight. I hope not, but, you know, so far, so good, you know. Normally we do get all the storms here, being so close to the sea, you know, the Irish Sea, I think it is. You can tell I'm no good at geography, can't you? I don't even know which sea it is. I think it's the Irish Sea. So, yeah, I'm knitting me fur. Hi, Amanda. Oh, good. Enjoy it, Sean. Yeah, it doesn't last long, does it? Oh, dear. I hate being drugged up. And yet, what do you choose? Do you choose the pain? Do you choose the drugs? What do you choose? You know, I tend to take my painkillers at night, so at least I get a sleep. Although my hand last night was just... It seems to wait while I get in bed, and then it goes, ha 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 ha. You want to go to sleep? Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. I've come alive. I'm going to twink. I'm going to throb. I'm going to drive you nutty till you get to sleep. It's great. It is great. If you wonder what I'm doing, I'm crossing off rows on my bit of paper. Like a true crafter, I write things down on bits of paper when I'm doing increases and decreases and stuff like that. You know, you can't beat a bit of paper, can you, and a pencil when you're doing anything. You can, you know, have all the row counters and the God knows what you want. But when it boils down to it and you're doing increases, you need a bit of paper, don't you? And on this one, you see, I'm having trouble distinguishing which is my knit row and which is my purl row because it's so fuzzy. And you know for a fact that if you get it wrong, it's going to show, even though it's fuzzy wuzzy wool. Yeah. I need another ball, really, and I don't have one, and I can't find any online. So I'm going to have to make it short sleeves, which I didn't want, but hey ho. You have to do what you can do. Oh, you've got to have a pen and paper, haven't you? I envy these people who can do everything without anything. You know, they've got brains. When I get to my age, they don't always work. Just keeping an eye on my fire. My son must have lit it while I was getting ready. So we've got Trixie sleeping on the recliner, which is why the door's open. Because if I shut the door, she'll want to go out. And the other dog is sleeping on my bed. So Trixie loves the fire being lit. She's a real hot bird. Yep, she's sleeping away there. I was wondering what the noise was. It's the fan from the fire and it's the light above my head. They both do whirry noises, yeah. Good evening, Connie. Good evening to everybody, if I've missed anybody. I hope I haven't, but if I put my head down doing my knitting, I might miss somebody coming in. Yeah. Yeah. How's my hand? Don't know whether you can see it or not. It doesn't look much, but it's blinking sore. I had the stitches taken out on Thursday, but it's still pulling and tugging. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, remind everybody, thumbs up and subscribe, please. That's what everybody else says, so I might as well jump on the bandwagon, mightn't I? If you like my video, thumbs up and subscribe. Not that anybody ever does. I watch people's videos and they're like, oh, I've got like 10,000 more subscribers this week, thank you. I get one. I will never be one of the YouTube's great successes, I've decided. I'm doing my knitting, Jill, actually. I still can't do my crochet. Must be something to do with the wrist action. I'm knitting very, very slowly. Very, very slowly. Yeah, actually, I think I've lost some subscribers because I haven't made any videos. You know, people are very fickle, aren't they? You know, you don't make a video for a week or two and you lose subscribers, you know. Oh my God, Munchkin, I bet that hurt. This hurts, and I haven't banged it, touching wood, not yet anyway. This hurts. But I can't sit still, so I have to do some knitting, even if it's very, very slowly. Oh, God, I hate changing beds. Why do they always make fitted sheets so tight? They don't make them big enough for mattresses, do they? You know, when I can't pull anything at the moment with my left hand. So you need to pull everything taut to get the tension on it, to get it over round the corners, don't you? Oh, hello, somebody's sending me a message. But they don't work that way. Somebody suggested next time I buy bedding that I don't buy it with fitted, you know, just buy ordinary bedding. Probably be a lot easier. Oh, shush, phone. Yeah, I need extra deep sheets because I've got quite a fat mattress, you know, it's quite a deep mattress. When I was buying a new bed, I thought, well, you know, at my time of life, I'll buy a really decent mattress. So I did, I bought a deep one. And like you say, it's hard to get the sheets to stay on them. They just flirt up again. I got in bed last night and flirt, this sheet comes flying up. I thought, oh, I'm not getting out of bed at this time of night to try and manoeuvre it. So I didn't. Oh dear. Tell me about it, Jill. Yeah, making the bed. Who have I got here now? Oh, Sheila's got a new video, and so has Derek. So, but don't go and look at them now. You can look at them later when I've gone off my live, if you don't mind. M&S sell extra deep sheets. Yeah, I think they probably do on Amazon if I look. But to be quite truthful, I bought a load of new bedding, so I'm a bit loath to buy some new bedding. I might just buy a sheet. Because if it's a nice day and you wash your bedding, the sheet dries first, doesn't it, anyway? You know, I can use different coloured duvet covers with the same sheet. I don't feel like I've got about three or four new sets. But of course, they've all got fitted sheets, haven't they? So I've got the same problem with them. At the moment, I'm using a flannelette one. Ooh, nice and warm. It's much cosier than lying on a little ordinary poly cotton one, yeah. But it's fitted, of course, yeah. So it's flirting up. Maybe I should buy the king size. I have the king size duvet because I have a king size duvet. Maybe I should buy king size sheets as well. But have you noticed duvet sets don't come with sheets anymore? They just come with pillowcases and only 2. Whereas most people have 4 pillows on the bed, don't they? Ah, well, you live where it's warm, Jill. I live where it's cold. Yeah. I've got cream on at the moment. I've got cream flannelette. It's popped off the corner though. Maybe I'll have a look for a king size flannelette one. Buy one of them. Ah, you've got 2 beds to change, haven't you? I forget. I've only got the one. It's not so bad in the summer because your sheets dry quite quick. I mean, the duvets take longer, but I've got spares. I've got about 4 sets, but I tend to only use 2, like one off, one in the wash and stuff like that. I think 2 of them are still in the packages. I've never actually had them on the bed yet. I did put one on the bed, but I didn't like it. It was like kind of rough. What am I knitting today? I'm knitting a cardigan in fluff. And I'm quite upset because I haven't got enough wool to do long sleeves. I thought I did. And if you're wondering who's snoring, that's Trixie. She's snoring her head off. Yeah, I'm doing a little edge-to-edge jacket. But I wanted it to have long sleeves, but no can do because I'm running out of wool. So everybody goes, oh, you're making a scarf. I thought, no, I'm unusual. I want an eyelash jacket. I'm actually thinking of doing a loopy jacket. My mum made me one years ago. I absolutely loved it. Loved it. You have an order. Woo! The only time I ever get asked for orders are for things I don't want to make. Humongous sized sweaters in dark colours. Nobody ever wants me to make anything thrilling and exciting. It's always like a 52-inch chest in bottle green or brown or something. And I'm like, nah. If they wanted a bold coloured cardigan in jazzy stripes or something, woo. But no, they don't want that. And they always want it long past the bottom. And can I have pockets? And like, no, I'm not doing it at the moment. The hand is hurting. It's got the stitches off. Woo. It's just got dots there. It don't look much of anything, but my goodness, it still hurts. He might have freed the hand, but my wrist still feels as though it's being strangled because he didn't go into the wrist like they did this hand. They went down the palm and into the wrist. But I still feel like my wrist's being strangled. I don't mind plain colours, Joe, if they're nice, bright, bold colours. But when they want things that are like black or brown or something, yeah. Hi, Craftnit So. Hello there. Yeah, it's very slow and it's on a very big needle and I'm not doing it very quickly. But I was going potty, not doing anything. I cannot sit still goggling at the telly. It's not my thing. Oh, you're doing black. Oh, God, I feel your pain, Jill. I only do black for myself. It's a labour of love doing anything in black. Nice when they're done, but not. Not for other people, especially the large sizes. I don't think I'm going to make it to 43 stitches. I think I'm going to have to start doing the raglan soon. Hey, so how is everybody? I feel very boring tonight, actually. I've decided I must be very boring. As I said before, everybody else's channel's growing leaps and bounds. Mine doesn't move. I think, yeah, Janet, you're boring. Nobody wants to listen to you. You don't buy anything anymore. You don't make anything anymore. So you're pretty boring. I bore myself at times when I'm talking. Never know what to say, you run out of things, don't you? How people do a video every single day, I don't know. I did it once many years ago. And it was when I was buying loads of stuff at the time, so I did have more things to show. I was buying magazines 2 a week, 2 a month. I was buying wool every month. I was knitting and crocheting like the clappers because I had my shop back then. And even then, I couldn't think of anything to say every single day. Oh dear. I don't know how people manage to keep it up. It's all right if you can edit and you go on walks, like, what she call the wonderful, little wonderful, whatever. She does walks, doesn't she? And walks around showing the flowers that have come out, and showing all the muddy puddles, yeah. Oh, thank you, Jill. But I can't edit. I can't do anything like that. I can't string 2 sentences together, let alone 2 videos. I can't even put still pictures up, and people go, oh, this is my picture. Can't do that. I'm hopeless. Wrong generation, that's my trouble. Wrong generation. I wasn't brought up with technology. These people with these iPhones and Apple phones and stuff that can do everything. Sing and dance, pay bills. I can't do nothing like that. I'm a technological nerd. Well, no, I'm not a nerd because a nerd means you mean something, something about it, doesn't it? I'm dumb at technology. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Yeah, I can't do videos when I'm going down the seafront because my scooter squeaks like the devil. And when I try to upload it, because of all the squeaking, YouTube doesn't like the noise. So I tried it once, going down the seafront and talking at the same time, and I couldn't do both. The sound of the waves, the sound of the scooter, the sound of the wind. YouTube just didn't like it. And if I sit still on the seafront, then there's nothing to show you, you know. So maybe if we ever get a summer, you know, and it's nice weather, I can sit up and sit on, you know, the seafront, maybe in Cleveland where it's got a bit of life, you know. Maybe I can show you the ice cream man that parks up there in the summer. So I still have got to go to there's some park or other that I've never been to yet. And my son keeps saying it's nice. Yeah, that's summer, that's when we have warmer rain, isn't it? I think, yeah. We didn't get much of one last year. Other people did. You know, people down south got summer, but we didn't up here. It was quite chilly, I thought, last summer. I judge summer by not having to wear a thick cardigan. That's how I judge my summer. If I can wear, well, I don't wear t-shirts, but you know what I mean. I do that anyway, Jill, but I think of things to say, you know. I don't think I'm a very interesting person, that's the thing. And I can't film when I go to knit club and things like that because they don't want to be filmed, you know. So I know I've got a stomach ache for some unknown reason. I don't know why, because all I had was fish fingers for my dinner. But now I've got a stomach ache. Hello, Issa. I'll have a drink of my coffee. Cheers. Frida Kahlo mug. Cheers. I know they like to see more of me. I mean, it doesn't make a heap of the difference if I'm truthful to any of my subscribers, and it doesn't make a bit of difference to any money I may or may not earn. I earn nothing. It actually amazes me when people say how much money they earn from YouTube. I earn peanuts. So, you know, if I earned mega amount of money, it would be an incentive, wouldn't it, to make more videos. I'm doing my fuzzy wuzzy cardigan. Yeah. What it will be like when it's done, I really don't know, but it's my fuzzy wuzzy cardigan. Whether I will wear it when I've done it, I don't know. I've got to finish that crochet cardigan. Am I crackling? I don't know. Oh, it takes me 3-4 months before I get the bare minimum check. Yeah. How people earn money every month, I don't know. I've obviously not got the knack. You've got a crackle. I'm sorry about that. I'm only using the same camera and microphone as I usually use. Don't tell me it's time to get a new camera. Oh. Because the microphone's built into the camera, I think. Not sure. You know me, I'm not technological. If anything goes wrong, I have no idea. We've got no Chris yet. I wonder if he's remembered that the clock's changed. Well, for me, last week. He maybe comes on an hour late, you know, if he hasn't remembered. I must phone Sue. I've not phoned Sue. Oh, you're here, Chris. Oh, did you? I'm very sorry, Chris, if I didn't reply. I must have missed you, darling. I wouldn't miss you for the world. Hey, I've got a bit of news. I got a lovely phone call out of the blue the other day. Trevor, kiss my stained glass. Yeah. lovely to hear from him. He said he might come on. Yay, Trevor. It was lovely of him to ring me. So surprised to hear from him. It was so sweet, yeah. I've only got a little box one. It annoys me in a way that I don't still have my tower because I can't play CDs and DVDs anymore with this one. I'll have to, it's always the same, but you have to buy another bit, don't you, to go with it, yeah? Yeah, it was lovely to hear from Trevor. He did say he would try to come on one day. Didn't say today, he said one day, yeah. Yeah, he's fine, he's doing fine. He's got his boat out of the water at the moment. He's painting, not his bottom, he's painting the boat bottom, yeah, or having it painted, I should say. They have to have them painted, don't they, every year or something to make sure they're waterproof. I knew they did it with seagoing vessels because, of course, the salt water corrodes everything, doesn't it? And they have to get the barnacles off and stuff like that. But I didn't realise that we took canal barges out of the water every year as well. So he's doing quite well. I asked him what he was doing. He was saying he's doing the markets and different things. It sounds like a lovely community because there's a barge that sells bread. There's one that sells cheese. There's one that sells crafts and all that one. I mean, I have seen on Facebook, it's not near Trev, the one that sells wool, yeah? The wool boat. I don't think they live on the wool boat, though. If they do, I don't know how they do, because it's full of wool, you know. I don't think they live on that. Maybe they have two barges, one to live on and one to have a wool. It would be nice to see that. It would be nice to go. But I'm handicapped, of course, not having any transport. You know, I can't just... None of my friends drive either. Well, a couple do. You know, I would love to go out and about at the weekends. And I must try in the summer to... Yeah, a wool boat, yeah. She's on Facebook. But, of course, they're never near me here. Don't think we've got any canals near here. I'm sure we probably do. My mum used to have a caravan on a canal in Garstown, which is like a few miles away. That was a canal, yeah. And there was houseboat type of things moored up there. Must be nice, you know, to live on a boat. Not that I could ever steer one. I was watching today, funnily enough, I was watching what he called Timothy West and Prue Scales. They were on a canal barge, you know, going up and down. Oh, bless her, she's got dementia. She's not... Well, she's 91 now, so... I don't think I'd be doing locks on a boat, 80-odd-year-old like she was. Oh, you've got lots of canals, have you? Maybe I should buy a boat and go and go and live on a barge. I'd have to have a houseboat though, because I can't steer and I can't move it, so I'd have to have one that was permanently moored. But with my luck, it'll probably spring a leak and sink or something. You brought reckless abandon, you did. Oh, you little devil. I was looking at some wool, but I'd resisted temptation. Derek, you know, that's a friend of Sheila's, he was showing some wool that he'd bought from Wool Warehouse, and it was on offer. And it was like half price at $2.50. And I thought, do you really need it? Do you really need it? So I had to persuade myself that I didn't. It was very pretty though. But I had to be firm with myself and say, no, you do not need it. Is it all Mr. Fiber's fault? Oh, you blame him, yeah. I wish I had somebody to blame. I used to blame Sue. She used to blame me. I used to blame her. We used to say we enabled each other, yeah. It is hard to be firm, but I had to think, oh, I need to put a log on my fire. It is when something's pretty and you're looking at it and you think, oh, it's so pretty that. But then I know, be firm. Be firm. Don't be tempted. He was showing a colour called, I think it was Blue Lagoon. It was some wool from yarn. It's one of Woolcraft's, Wool Warehouse's own brand. I think it's called Yarncraft. Oh, you found some eyelash. Woohoo. I used to love doing the eyelash, doing it in shawls and things. Doing where you do a couple of rows and then all the colours and all different textures. Yeah, I'm just knitting this as it is. I don't knit toys like you do, Sean. I don't make anything with a face, as I've said before. I'm no good at things with faces. Oh dear. I'm going to put a log on the fire. Oh. Squeak, squeak. I've got one in here and one in my bedroom. I'm doing my live at the minute. Right. I'm doing my live at the moment. No, I think the last toy I ever made was, I tried to make a doll for my niece's daughter. It was grotesque. I did the face about 4 times and it still looked frightening. Scary. And I don't think she's into dolls anyway. I don't think she ever played with a flipping thing after I'd done it. So no, I think I'll have to start doing my raglan now, otherwise I'm not going to have enough wool to finish it. Oh. Hi Val, how are you doing? Crochet ragdolls, you just stuff that. It's the face. You have to put a face on it, Jill. I can't do faces. Val does things with faces, I don't. Oh dear. Val, when I got home, when I was knitting the front of this, when I got home, it had all fallen off the needles and I couldn't rescue it. So I had to rip it all down to the beginning and start all over again. You cannot pick up stitches if you drop them. So I had to redo the whole front that I'd done when I was at Knit Club. So I wasn't best pleased. When you're struggling to knit and you have to do it twice, yeah. Oh dear. I need to have a break now. My hand's starting to hurt. So I'll have a little break. Yeah, I took it out of the bag. You know, the bag I took to the knit club. I took it out of the bag and it was all in bits. I tried to salvage it. I tried to pick up the stitches, but if you try picking up stitches in eyelash yarn, it doesn't work. I kept going down a row, down a row, down a row, thinking I'll get there in the end, but no, it all had to come back. And because it all had to come back, I finished up with a load of tiny little balls, didn't I? Because it didn't come apart in. So I'm on the sleeve now. It's only going to be a short sleeve because I haven't got enough wool to do a long sleeve. Oh, well, I'm going to stop for a minute before I start casting off my raglan. Oh, because my hand's starting to hurt now and it's gone numb. Gone numb. I had a new knee about 15 years ago, 20 years ago. I had a new knee. It's not been any, in fact, it's a worse knee than the knee I didn't have done. So it's never been right, yeah. No, I've looked all over for another ball of this wool and I can't find any anywhere. It seems to have been discontinued. I just bought a job lot, you know, off eBay. I had 10, she had 10 balls for sale and I bought the 10 balls, but obviously 10 balls wasn't enough. What is it? It's some eyelash yarn. It's not really got a brand on it. It's called Woolcraft Fabulous and it's made in Bradford by Woolcraft Clifford Street Mills. I've searched and searched everywhere and I can't find any more of it. I can see eyelash yarn, but it said it could be different. I think King Cole do an eyelash yarn, but it looks as though it's darker colour. This is like black and grey together. On the one I could see, there was one that was all silver grey and one that was more black than this is. So I thought, no, I'm not sending away for a ball of that. Hi, Sina. Happy spring. Can you tell the weather? Glad it's spring, because it ain't really. It's not very spring-like, I'm afraid. Yeah. I'll stop for a bit, give my hand a break. Yeah, but I can't get to sleep tonight. I've got 2 videos to watch. I've got Sheila's one from today and I've got Derek's one from today. And I'm sure that there's somebody else's that I've not watched. I don't get notifications. I know every time I watch Crochet Rock, she says, press the notification bell. And I'm thinking it does. It doesn't work because nobody tells me you've made a video. I have to go and look for it, yeah. Oh, you got a mourning dove. Why is it called a mourning dove? I know, I was talking to Lizzie before, because she lives in that area with the earthquake, yeah. There's a lot to be said for England. We don't really have them here. We might have little trembles every now and again. It would be more than scary if it happened in the UK. We have little trembles. We occasionally have a bit of a, what they call like them whirlwind things. Okay, tornado, little mini ones. But really, strictly speaking, England is just wet mostly. Just a lot of rain, really. But Ireland's worse than us. That's why it's called it's always green in Ireland because it rains so much. I don't think I've heard a mourning dove. Maybe I should look it up, see what noise they make, and then I can let you know, Chris, whether it's a horrible noise or not. All we get here is seagulls. We get other birds as well, but the seagulls drown everything else out, yeah. At least the wind's died down. I can't hear the wind. Woohoo! Seagulls squawk. They've got another name besides a seagull. They're called something gull. I don't know what they're called. But they squawk. And sometimes they sound like a baby crying. And sometimes other times they sound like a cat. So you're thinking, is there a cat in pain somewhere? Then you realise it's a seagull. They're very cheeky. I didn't realise actually how big they were, the seagull. When you get close to a seagull, it's quite big. Oh, excuse me. Trying not to yawn in front of everybody. It's so rude, isn't it? Showing everybody my tonsils. I haven't got any, so I can't show you my tonsils. The lack of tonsils, yeah. Oh, I just had electric shocks up my hand. I still only got nails on one hand. I'm making you yawn, yeah. No nails on that hand. That's the hand I've been using. Just got nails on the one I've not been using. They'll probably start breaking off now I'm using it again. I can't stretch it out because it's pulling. They said massage some E45 cream in, which I have done. It just feels as though it's like that, the hand, as though I can't. But she said to me, don't spread your hand out like that. So I won't. Yeah. So I'll leave it like that. Don't know why I've got stomachache. I've not had anything to eat. I've only had fish fingers. I've not had anything out of the ordinary to eat. Who knows? Spiders. You got to wear a boot on your left foot. Have you had surgery, or is it to correct something? They tend to give us plaster casts here in the UK. We don't tend to get boots. Oh, Achilles. I snapped mine many, many years ago. I was in a plaster cast for about 8 weeks. From my toes to my knee. And I snapped the Achilles tendon. I slipped on some ice, would you believe? And I heard it crack. And I thought I broke my leg. But I couldn't get up, I couldn't walk. Anyway, a guy came and helped me back into the shop. And then my dad took me to A&E, accident and emergency, or whatever you call it in America. And they said, no, I hadn't broken it. I'd snapped my tendon. It's bloody painful. And even when they took the plaster cast off, I was walking on my tiptoes for ages. I couldn't put my heel down. God, that's a long time ago. Forgotten about that until you mentioned it then. No, mine was an accident. I slipped on some ice. I honestly thought I'd broke it because the noise it made a real bad, like a crack, a snap. I thought, oh my God, I broke my bone. I was really surprised when they said I hadn't broken anything. I went to work though. I had to be picked up though because I couldn't drive, obviously. But you know me, trooper. There I was at work with my crutches. Couldn't go up the ladders, but at least I went to work. Yeah. I'm wearing my brooch that Sue got for me. Purple tartan. She said she saw it and she thought it'd be. I've had it ages, a long time. Don't always wear it though. No, my bug at the moment is an ingrowing toenail. They're painful, aren't they? They're painful. It did. I honestly thought I broke it. I really did. Once they put it in a plaster cast, it stabilised it. It wasn't so bad. It was when it came out of the plaster cast, I couldn't. Because you have to stretch it out then. You have to do exercises to put your heel down to stretch out the tendon. The only thing I've broken really, besides my back, has been fingers actually. Fingers and my little toe. I broke my little toe. Never been right since. It sticks out to a funny angle now. And I broke fingers, yeah. But apart from that, I've been pretty lucky. Shouldn't say that. I should have touched wood. Oh, I broke my shoulder. Yeah. Broke my shoulder. I have broke something. Yeah, make some flashy ones, you know, with tassels on them or something. Jazzy colours. You have to jazz up your boot, don't you? I found a picture that I'd put on Facebook about 11 years ago. These really fantastic leg warmers. They were all jazzy colours. And they had a little pocket on them. I don't know why I never made them. And I saw them the other day. I thought, whoa, I'd forgotten all about them. 11 years ago, I put them on. It's supposed to be coming back, aren't they, leg warmers? Back to Fame. Was it Fame, that TV programme that used to come on where they were all dancing? Slightly piddle when you broke your big toe. No, my little toe, I walked into something. And the toe went that way, like that, you know. My foot went that way and my toe went that way. Oh. I mean, we bang them hundreds of times, don't we? We bang our little toes, but I broke this one. And it's set in like a hump now. It's like that. So it makes it awkward. Some certain shoes really rub it and really hurt it now. That finger's the worst finger. I broke it in a taxi door. It goes round the corner. That is sore some days. Because it's got arthritis now, and to getting old. When you get old, you get arthritis. I dropped a turkey on my foot once. a frozen turkey on my foot. I thought I'd smashed every bone in my foot, but luckily it was just very, very badly bruised, but I didn't actually break anything. I was very lucky. It was a big frozen turkey as well. And I was picking it up, and they've been, when they're sort of not half defrosted, but when they go slidey when you've got old, and it just let go and just landed right in the middle of my foot. I thought I'd broke it, but no. But bruised? Ah, it was very, very multicoloured for quite a long time. So I can imagine what dog food was like on your toes, yeah. I thought I'd crushed every bone in my foot. I must be resilient. Well, I was a lot younger then. I probably had sturdier bones back in the day. Probably don't now. Dog food, Christine, not fog food. Do you know this predictive text is wonderful, isn't it? It makes you type all kinds of things you don't mean to. It changes things into something completely different. Fog dude, yeah. I have to always check my messages before I send them, because it just turns my messages into gobbledygook, this predictive text. Oh, your dad called. How's he doing? Oh, little one's. Oh, she's got in front of the fire now. Obviously wasn't warm enough on her chair. No, she's gone back up on the chair again. Maybe it was too hot in front of the fire. He went to Oklahoma and got some cigarettes. Is that near or is that far away? Yeah, my phone's very dyslexic, Shan. It's always typing something. I mean, sometimes it can get you into trouble, can't it? Oh, I tell you what my phone will do. I can be typing a message to somebody and somebody sends me a message. So I continue typing and I'm typing to the wrong person. So it's a good job I don't say anything horrible about anybody. Otherwise it would go to the wrong person, if you know what I mean. Could get into some awful trouble if you did. Fortunately, I don't usually like slag people off on a phone message. So he goes an hour and a half away using his gas just to get cheaper cigarettes. Am I back? My connection just disappeared. Can you all hear me? My connection got lost. Somebody say yes. Oh, you didn't lose me. Yeah. My connection went off. It just said you got no internet connection. Then it just came back on again. I'm back. Good, Val. I'm glad I'm back. Oh. You are not having any crisps. Go away. The little one's got off a chair now because I'm eating. He plays a few hands of poker. I hope he doesn't gamble. Don't want him losing his pension. Perhaps he just goes for the social contact, Joe. Perhaps he's got some friends over there. I don't smoke, but I believe cigarettes in the UK are really expensive. I don't know what they're like in America. But as I don't smoke, I don't know how much they are, yeah. I know, I've no idea. $10 a carton less. Oh, I don't know how much cigarettes are in the UK. Anybody smoke in the UK? Can you let me know? £16 for 20. Gosh. Gosh, that's nearly £1 a cigarette, isn't it? Oh, good grief. I'm glad I don't smoke. I wonder how people who are like on a pension or on a very limited income, I wonder how they manage to smoke. I'm so glad I never started. My immediate friends when I was growing up, girlfriends and that, didn't smoke. The boys did, but the girls didn't. So I suppose it depends on how you're growing up, who your peers are. I mean, I was at school till I was 17, don't forget. So, smoking at school would have been instant expulsion. They didn't mess about in those days. Didn't warn you, didn't do anything, they just expelled you. Your mother would have been, oh, you've ever been expelled. When I went out dancing and that, I didn't have much pocket money. My pocket money used to go out dancing on a Saturday night, and sometimes I'd be able to go to the cinema on a Sunday. And that was it. That was my pocket money gone for the week. I didn't have any left over to get cigarettes with. There's a lot to be said for keeping your kids poor. The only one thing I wish they would legalise is like over here, is like the medicinal marijuana. Then I might take up smoking. I don't think they'll ever legalise it here, Chris. They faff about too much. I mean, it should be legal for people like with Parkinson's and things like that because they know it helps. Or people who have epileptic seizures, you know, the kids who they can't get the seizures under control. I cannot understand why they cannot legalise it for people like that. You know, the medicinal. You know, medicinal purposes definitely should be able to get it. I can't understand why they just won't. They force people to go underground. They force people to buy it illegally, grow it illegally. Because let's face it, if you have a Parkinson's or if you have a kid with really bad epileptic seizures, you're going to do everything you can, you know, to get it. I mean, if you buy it on a street corner, you leave yourself wide open to anything being adulterated, don't you? Not as I wouldn't know where to start, don't get me wrong. No, you need a bit of warmth, I think, to grow anything. You would need a greenhouse with a heater. We don't have any now. Any plants would freeze to death over here. In a lot of different countries, Trudy, it is. It's just the UK. We're just behind the times with everything. I don't think you're even allowed to grow it over here. Not that I've ever tried, but I mean, you know. They smoke it quite openly here. The oil that I bought oil, but it's not got the, oh, there's something missing in it. The one you buy, the CBD oil, it's got the bit that does you good in it. It's missing. I used to buy it, but it didn't do a thing. They take out one ingredient, don't they, when you buy the oil? The THC or something, whatever it is, they take it out of it. So the stuff you buy, it's just like hemp oil, really. Yeah, I've had hemp oil. It's not, yeah, it's nothing like whatever. It didn't do anything at all. It was supposed to be good for arthritis and that, but honestly. Yeah, the CBD oil that you can buy, it's quite expensive and it doesn't do you any good. You're better off taking cod liver oil, really. Cheers. The roller cola. That's what they call it in England. If it's not proper Coca-Cola, if it's the cheap stuff, it's called roller cola. Ah. Oh, I get fed up because I can't knit, and then when I do knit, my hand hurts, you know, so what do I do? I keep putting it down for a bit, then I think, no, I'm going to go. Then my hand hurts again. I cannot sit still. It just drives me potty. No, I don't think so, Jill. No. If you could order it by post, I think they would probably stop it at the customs. You'd have some sniffer dog sniffing it out. Hi, Diane. Jockey. Honeycomb. Milk chocolate honeycomb. From my favourite shop, Marks and Spencer's. Right, it's took you all your time to get the right medication, Shan. Without asking for that. Yeah, it drives me mad. No, exactly. They can prescribe it for MS and for Parkinson's and that and epilepsy, and they don't. I've seen parents having to spend a fortune going over to Holland or somewhere to bring it back for their kids. It's ridiculous. I watched a video with a guy who was shaking really badly with Parkinson's like that. And after he'd had this marijuana, like he just stopped shaking and he was able to pick up a drink of water and drink it. And I'm like, why do you make people suffer when you can prescribe and you don't? It's like a lot of these cancer drugs, isn't it? They won't prescribe them because they cost too much money. Where's she going? What are you doing? I'm not eating anything, so you're not missing anything, little miss. Oh, it is all about the money, and they like to wield power over people, I think. You know, we can do it, but we won't, you know. I'm sure if you had the money, you could do it all. You know, private prescriptions and stuff like that, yeah. As you say, it is all about the money. What are you doing, Trixie? Trixie is sniffing all around. Well, I mean, does it? I've never tried it, so I don't know whether it would kill the pain or not. Everything today, Chris, is money orientated, isn't it? It's not health motivated. They spend money on ridiculous things, and yet they won't spend it where it's needed. You know, on people who are really, really ill that could benefit from things. And yet they'll spend millions on something stupid. Trixie is licking the carpet. Don't ask me why. Yeah, they'd rather deal with all the money they spend on people who are addicted to hard drugs and the people who are addicted to spice and stuff like that. That must cost the NHS billions. I mean, Manchester Town Centre, they've got a lovely place. Well, it used to be called Piccadilly Gardens. You don't go there now. It's full of spice addicts and drunks and whatnot. I think it can. I knew a guy one time that was addicted to marijuana. He smoked it all of the time and he was completely paranoid. Everybody was looking at him, everybody was spying on him, and oh. I said to him, it's all that stuff you're smoking, that's what's doing it. Nobody's looking at you. I think it can if people are predisposed. This bloke I knew, he definitely. I severed all ties with him in the end because I couldn't cope. He was, when he was in one of his moods, you know, he was completely, couldn't reason. Thought I'm going to be as daft as him. I mean, I'd known him for about 5 or 6 years, and he was fine when I first knew him. But his usage, you know, got more. And the more and more and more he smoked it, the more and more paranoid he got. I had a house with big bay windows, And if he came to my house, he said, "Can you draw the curtains?" And I went, "Why?" I said, "I live in a quiet street. Nobody goes by. People are looking in. People are looking in. Draw the curtains, draw the curtains." And I'm thinking, oh God, I can't cope with this. I lived on a street where the odd dog walker went past me. And he wanted me to draw the curtains. In the daytime, yeah. So that friendship had to end. Sorry if I'm crunching, but I'm enjoying my honeycomb. So I might not be crackling, I might be crunching now. Honeycomb is quite crunchy. It looks like big pieces, doesn't it, on the package, but it's the tiny little pieces when you open them out. Like little mini crunches. They don't taste like crunches, though. Well, I couldn't go to the one on Monday because it was bank holiday. So there was no knitting club on the Monday. I went to both of them on a Wednesday. They were fine. These are Marks and Spencer's ones. They're not like crunchy bars. They're a lot crunchier than that. The hand's healing up. It doesn't look much, but it's still sore. But it's like strangled down here. They didn't open it up down there like they did the last time. Last time they opened it up down there and down my wrist. But this time he's only opened it up there. But I feel as though I'm being strangled here. It feels like there's a tight band all around my wrist. So I hope I don't have to go back for further surgery. That's where I feel as though it's tight. It's still stopping the circulation. Yeah, I knitted a whole front while I was at knit club. Well, not all of it, but I finished it off. Got home and it had fallen off the needle and I couldn't rescue it, so I had to undo the whole lot and redo the front. So my knit club was wasted, really. I'd started it in the afternoon knit club. My wrist is swollen there. Can you see? There, that bit there is swollen. But it feels as though somebody's gripping it, like there. Whether it'll, relax itself, I just feel like it should have been opened further down and opened up there. It looks so small for something that's so painful. You think, oh, it's just going to be nothing, don't you? Like a little scar, you know. Well, I keep hoping it will. It's still those 2 fingers and the thumb are just numb. I can't pick things up. Yeah, I've got some stoppers somewhere. Somewhere I've got a little plastic thing, you know, that's got stitch markers and little stoppers and everything. But mind you, they're probably not big enough for these big fat needles because they're 8mm. I decided to knit something on great big. No, this one was a long incision. It went down there and all the way into my wrist. Down there and down my wrist. It was about that long last time. That's why I was surprised how small this actually was. But I don't feel as though he's opened it up enough. Hi, baby. Yeah, I must have put my needles in point down instead of putting them in point up. But I'm hoping to have finished this before I go to knit club. Monday is my next knit club. So I'm hoping that I might have finished it before the library. You've also had your carpal tunnel done. I think it's a thing if you've ever been a typist or, you know, on a keyboard, or you've ever been a crafter or something like that. It tends to be an occupational hazard. They say it's repetitive strain injury, don't they? It definitely was with that hand because I used to be on a keyboard all the time. I used to be on a mouse. Click, 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 click. That's what did that one. This one is probably wear and tear and crafting, I think, yeah. I think it's a crafter's disease, isn't it, carpal tunnel? A typist, crafter, and yeah, well, I've been wearing braces, but I haven't put it on, obviously, because I didn't want it rubbing on my scar. I've got a little one here, actually. You know, it's got the metal, you know, down there. You put it on like that, and it stops you bending your wrist. But I don't want it to rub, you know, on the scar. I've got a bigger one than this that goes right from there, right down there, that I've been wearing before. I'm supposed to wear it in bed. It stops you bending your wrist the wrong way when you're in bed. Oh, I mean one of them. One of them bumps. There, can you see it there? Bump. Yeah, well, like I say, I haven't been wearing mine because I didn't want to rub the scar, although I might start putting it on because I couldn't sleep last night. It was all dead and burning and sore, yeah. Trixie's gone out with her dad. No, I can't grip. Well, I grip things, but they just go out my hand. I feel as though I'm holding it, and then it just goes through my fingers. Yeah, yeah, mine's like a bump thing there. Mine feels more like bone, though. You know, like a growth on the bone. I used to have one on my middle finger, you know, when I was at school and you wrote a lot with a fountain pen. I used to have a great big bump on my middle finger, but that went down eventually. Yeah, I'm not supposed to move my hand backwards like that. I'm not supposed to splay my fingers out. Yeah. I'm waiting for my nails to grow on this hand. Have you seen them? I've not got any of them left. All broken. The orange is that stuff they put on. Doodle doodle doo. Do 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 do. Can't pick up my phone. Can't pick up my phone. Oh, that looks like a ganglion. I used to hit them with the Bible at one time. Like a ganglion cyst. Yeah, they used to whack it with the Bible. I don't know why at one time. But now they don't. They say it's no good to do that now. No good to burst it. Oh, the storm has killed 3 people. Hello, Rosie. Hello. I don't know where it is. Where is it? Oh, it's in China. I thought it meant over here. It's in China. Yeah, they tend not to do anything with ganglion cysts anymore. No, the bad weather was not in the UK. I thought it was people killed in the UK, but it's not. People killed in China. Why do I want to know that? I'm sorry for the people in China, but I don't see why it's on my news stream. I would prefer it to be more local. I only found part of a body in Prestwich in some woodland. Nice, isn't it? Only part of it. I haven't found the rest of it yet. She's here, both of them. Come on, Trixie. Go with Daddy. Come on, then. Trixie. She thinks I've got something to eat, but she's madly disappointed because I haven't. Rosie, are you going with Daddy? Eh? I'm just asking Rosie if she's going with you. But she's... No, don't look like it. No. She prefers to go in my bed. No. Yeah, see you later. What you doing, Rosie? She's had her supper stick. She's supposed to go to bed after that, but you know, Rosie's got a mind of her own. Rosie prefers to sleep on the sofa or sleep in my bed. Not when I'm in it. As soon as I get in it, she gets out of it. But she sleeps on the bed when I'm not there. I think it's quiet in there. Probably cooler. Thank Crunchy, it's Friday. Except it's Saturday. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. I'm sure I'm shrinking. Everything's too big. I actually thought I was going to do some sewing today. I thought I'll get the sewing machine out. And then somewhere between here and my bedroom, the thought evaporated. I've got a pile of stuff to shorten now. I've got some purple velvet trousers on, and I've had to put a waspy belt, you know, them big wide waspy belts that click to hold them up. You've had your UTZ chips. I have to find out what I'm supposed to be doing for the top of my sleeve now. Right. Cast off 3 stitches at the beginning of the next 2 rows. Oh, right, I shall do that and just pray I've got enough wool to do the raglan. Oh, I shall go mad if I run out before I get to the end of the raglan. No, Saturday is my naughty night. I'm naughtier on a Saturday than I am the rest of the week. So I eat chocolate and I eat other naughty things. People like the cardigans. Which cardigans? The child. Oh, you mean the ones I made, the little ones? I don't know. I gave them to my friend and she gave them to her granddaughter, but I don't know whether the child actually liked it or not. One never knows with children. I know Sheila sells her baby cardigans, but whenever I make cardigans, nobody ever seems to want them. So I like making baby cardigans as well. But nobody ever seems to want to buy mine. I put them on Etsy, but not Etsy. Yeah, I put them on Etsy before it all went pear-shaped. Then I put them on eBay and didn't sell them, so I gave up. Yeah, I like making baby cardigans, but I mean, the church group that I belong to, they just donate everything, and I don't really have that mindset to just donate everything. I think you either want to. I think you were the only one who did, Munchkin. When I make things for people, I don't even know whether they even use them. I know my relatives never did. So, well, I'm telling a lie. My niece, she used it, things for her babies. But I'm not even sure that anybody else ever did. It's so deflating, isn't it, when you make things and you don't think that they're appreciated and you don't think that the babies ever wear them. So you tend to think, why am I bothering? You know, why do I do these things? I see people put them on Facebook and put them on eBay and they sell them, but it does not happen to me. It makes you feel worthless, really, in a way. You think, is my work so horrible? You know, is it so tatty that nobody wants it? It makes you start questioning yourself, you know, as to why am I doing this? Is it worth it? You know. I mean, I've been like that just recently, like with not making any videos. I'm like, about 8 people would miss me, I think, if I didn't make videos. That's about it, really. The rest of the world wouldn't even notice me. Yeah. I've got a doll. I bought a doll to model my things on. She's in the shed. I've got a reborn, but she's only very, very tiny. She's like a premature. So I never make close to model on her because, well, it could be a him. I don't think it's got a sex. It's actually a unisex reborn doll. But it's so small. It would only be, you know, for premature babies, really. You're one of the few, Diane. There's not that many that do. Yeah, there's more people watch on a live. When I do an ordinary video in the week, you know, people do watch it, but people don't comment, people don't thumbs up, people don't do anything. You know, the things that would make you get noticed by other people. It doesn't work that way. Right. Decrease. One stitch at each end of next. And 2 following 4th rows. Ah. Hmm. It's a bit odd. What's my next goal? I don't really have one anymore, Jill. I used to want to sell the stuff in the shed and I wanted to do a web page and I wanted to do this and that. And gradually it's just worn me down that I think, what's the point, you know? Decrease one stitch at each end of next and 2 following 4th rows. Oh, right. 8K. I've been waiting for 8K for about the last 5 years, Jill. It never happens. It never happens. I don't grow my channel, I lose people. You know, I watch people's channels and they go, oh, I've grown 2,000 subscribers since last time. And I'm like, really? I've lost 2 subscribers since last time. Oh, dear. You have to just keep smiling, don't you? I've spent the last how many years? 11 years waiting to be discovered. I had 7.4 subscribers about 6 years ago, and I've still got 7.5. Yeah, I get that feeling as well, Jill. You just feel like, why are you bothering? Yeah. Why am I bothering? Especially when you read, people say, oh, I've got to so many K, such a many K is the next one. Oh, over the weekend I got so many. And I'm like, really? It's hard not to feel a bit bitter, isn't it, You think, why does nobody like me? Why does nobody watch me? Or if they do watch me, they don't subscribe, they don't tell their friends, and they don't tell anybody else. I'm like in no man's land somewhere. As I said before, I've decided I must be very boring. I don't even get the bots. I know, you're all loyal to me, you really are. I've got my lovely loyal subscribers. I just never get any new ones. It would be nice to get some new ones now and again. But when I look at my estimate of my money, it never goes up, it comes down. The other week it said I had £43. I looked the other day, it said I had 20. What happened to the other £23? It went downhill. I didn't think they could take it off you once they give it you, but obviously they can. Oh, well, you've got a big bot. You're on, well, you're in good company with me anyway. I don't know about anybody else. Yes, comment certain points and thumbs up certain points. And I don't know what else raises the. I'm not into all this algorithms. If I was into algorithms and things, and you're supposed to know what words to say in your title, you like clickbait titles, which obviously I don't know. You're supposed to put a title that grabs people's attention. And you have a little saying thing. I've tried doing that. I tried doing everyday videos. Didn't make one ape of the difference to my subscribers or my money. Not one bit of difference did it make. So I thought, why am I doing this? Why? Yeah, put rant on it, yeah. I'm having a bit of a rant. Right, I'm running out of wool here. Oh, Rosie's vanished. She's not gone upstairs. She's gone in my bedroom, no doubt. Yeah, high drama at the knit club. Yeah, somebody lost the needle. It dropped on the floor. Yeah. That's the only high drama we ever have. Right, I've got one ball to divide between two sleeves now. It's going to be a bit hair raising. I'm going to be running out of wool. I can see it coming. I'll get to the second sleeve, just watch it. I'll get halfway up the raglan and I'll run out of wool. I just have this feeling. And the trouble is you can't undo this stuff. Well, you can, but with a great deal of difficulty. Yeah, the only thing I've got to put is I went down the seafront and I could have a tyre rant, couldn't I? My tyres have worn out yet again. They've only lasted me a couple of months, or 3 months, is it? Something like that. I could have a tyre rant. It's a design fault on that scooter, I swear it is. Something to do with the tracking on it. Yeah, a tyre rant, yeah. Scooter rant. Somebody stole my treasure, that's right. I think they might think that I was doing a Yeah, the tyres have worn down to the canvas again. I've been in touch with the scooter man and he said, I'll have to order you some new tyres. I said, look, this is ridiculous. You know, that it's worn out again. You know, I know the state of the roads in Fleetwood is bad, but I swear it's not just that. I mean, half the time I go up the seafront anyway. I mean, that's not clever, but it's not as bad. I keep forgetting to stop because they're doing sea thing, defences up at Fleetwood, and they're bringing great big, like massive Tonka toy things and big diggers and stuff. And they're bringing great big piles of stones, massive stones, boulders as big as the house, onto the seafront. And I keep thinking, I'll stop and I'll film. But I never take my camera. I always forget to take the camera. I get where they all are and I think, you've done it again. You've not took the camera. And my camera on my phone, it just lasts about 2 minutes and then it stops. I told you before, I have a very pathetic camera, very pathetic phone. Oh, Janet, you've dropped a stitch. Luckily, it's at the end. Oh, can't be coping with dropping stitches. If you drop a stitch in this, you've had it. You cannot pick it up again. I have to keep holding it up to make sure I've not got any holes in it. I'm getting hot now. My dandy, no, it's not my dandelion burdock tonight, is it? I haven't got any of that. It's my Coca-Cola, making me hot for some reason. Yeah, it might be interesting watching the great big cranes, massive cranes. They are great big. They look like gigantic Tonka toys going down the seafront. And it doesn't matter what time I go up the seafront, I always get them crossing. So they shut the gates, so I have to sit there and wait while they bring them all through like that. Big convoy comes through. Great big cranes and diggers and everything. So you're sitting there for half an hour watching them come through. And I think, why didn't I bring my camera? You bet your boots if I take my camera on Monday, I won't get the convoy coming through. See, they're reliant on the tide, so they're working on what they call groins. And I don't mean groins, top of your legs. It's something to do with breaking the tides up so that they don't overtop and come up the seafront. It's like some kind of protection against very high tides. Like I nearly got swept out to sea that day. I wondered why nobody was on the seafront, and then I realised, well, I got 3/4 way down, and the waves were coming over the top of my scooter. I shouldn't be here. But it was too late to go back. So I had to keep going. I nearly got drowned. That would have been interesting. But as I say, I never have my camera. And as I said, the camera on my phone lasts about 2 minutes if I'm lucky before it cuts out. My son says to me, use your camera phone, use your camera. The phones are much better, whatever they call it, resolution, that's the word. It is, but then I can't put it on YouTube. I've never worked out how I get it from my phone to YouTube, yeah. Hi, Denise. I can get it on Facebook and I can get it on Instagram, but I can't get it on YouTube from my phone because I'm not technologically minded, as you know. Arian's saying, take it into your Google pictures and take it this way. Oh, I thought, if it's not straightforward, I can't do it. Whereas my camera goes straight onto YouTube, yeah. My big camera. I never did get the new camera to work, the one my son bought me. It wouldn't go onto you, wouldn't go onto the computer. It wouldn't talk to the computer. And when I finally did get it to talk to my computer, my mouth wasn't in sync, with the picture. So I just gave up and went back to the old camera. I put new batteries in the old camera. And since then, touch wood, it's been working perfectly. And yet the other camera, the second camera my son bought me, was identical to the first one. But I don't have one of those all singing or dancing cameras and stuff. If I was a high-rolling earner, maybe I would have money to buy a new camera, but I'm not just buying a new camera for the sake of it. It's like when people say, why don't you do tutorials? Why don't you do this? I can't buy all that equipment. The overhead bit and that. Yeah. People use phones, don't they, and use things like that. They've got iPhones and Apple phones and all kinds of phones. In any case, I don't make patterns, do I? So what do I have to tell people? And if I did a tutorial of anything I do, I could only do it in the one size. And for a fact that somebody will say, oh, well, how can I make it bigger? Or how can I make it smaller? And I'll be like, I don't know. I can only make my size. Can't do anybody else's. I am going to put pictures on the stuff that I've already made. Make me an offer I can't refuse. Anything I've made that's not for myself is going to go up for sale. Greatly reduced prices. Gone. I shall do it one photograph at a time. I know. Why do people want tutorials for everything? I keep explaining that I cannot do tutorials if it's not my pattern because you're breaching copyright. You have to get the permission of the person whose pattern it is to do a tutorial, and people don't seem to understand that. Yeah. You know, it's all to do with copyright, isn't it? You know, if it's somebody else's pattern, I can't do a tutorial showing me, you know, and give details of this pattern, saying, you know, how many stitches I've casted on and which pattern I've used and that, because you're breaching their copyright. They want to sell you a pattern. They don't want you giving away their secrets on a tutorial. I know, but I'd be the one who gets pulled for it. I know I would, Jill. That it's, you know, you're supposed to ask the person whose pattern it is for permission before you do it. I was having this argument with a lady at Knit Club, and she was saying, but why can't you not do it? I don't understand it. And I'm going, because you can't. It's like that thing about when they were selling Disney print fabric. You can make curtains and duvet covers and pillowcases for your own use. But Disney took somebody to court, it was in America, because they were making pillows and things like that and selling them on Etsy. And they were saying, no, you can't do that. And everybody was saying, but why not? Because they're selling the fabric. And they were saying, no, you know, it's... Yeah, but there was somebody selling, was it Grogu and stuff like that, them little green gremlin things? They got pulled for that because they were too close to the original. They got, you know, copyrighted for that. You've got to be so careful these days. Even toys in the UK, we have to have our toys to be sold, to be tested. They've got to have safety eyes. They've got to be tested by fire. They've got to have the right kind of stuffing that's, you know, the wadding. And the wool's got to be the right kind of wool and that. And if you don't have it all safety tested, you're not supposed to sell it at craft fairs. Yeah, well, they're in the market, aren't they, for selling little copies of Grogu and things like that. They don't want people knitting and crocheting copies of Grogu and selling them, do they? And yet people do it all the time. But I know I would be the one. I would be the one that get pulled. I know. I would be the one if I had a car tax a day out of date, you know, a day out of date. I'd be the one that gets pulled. Other people ride around without road tax for years, don't they? If I was one day out of date. I got pulled for that once. My mum was in hospital, and, you know, things go out your brain, don't they, when your mum's in hospital. And my road tax was a week out of date, and I got pulled. I got pulled and fined. 1 week out of date. What do I do with my yarn scraps? Try to make granny square jackets and things with them. I can't make toys because, you know, I can't. So it tends to be granny squares or something. I've yet to think of something other than that. I mean, at one of the knit clubs, they do everything for like charity. They do cat blankets and God knows what. My heart's just not in that sort of thing. I mean, I once did a load of stuff for premature babies when I was at another knit club in Bolton. And I made tons of stuff. And they took it up to the hospital, and we got a letter back, you know, thanking everyone in the knit club for making all these lovely things for the premature baby club. You know, could we make more? I was the only one who made anything. Nobody else did. And I thought, hang on, who's being a mug here? You know, the club's getting the... I mean, I didn't want accolade for doing it, but I didn't want the whole club to be thanked when nobody else had done anything. And can we make more? I went, well, you can all make more. Why don't you lot make something then? And they didn't make anything. Nothing more was taken to the hospital because I didn't make any more. If it's supposed to be a joint effort from a knit club, at least it's supposed to be more than one person doing it all. I just got fed up being taken for granted. Now, one of the knit clubs I go to, thank you, excuse me, thank you. One of the knit clubs I go to, they make everything like for the church fair. But they sell everything for peanuts. I made some headbands and took them down. And the woman there said, I think we could get £1 each for these quite easily. And I thought, just cost me more than £1 for the wool. I thought, that's the last lot you get. Yeah, I made scarves, little neck scarves, and I made headbands. And I think somebody bought a scarf for £2. She said, I think we can get £2 for these. I thought, I use decent yarn. It costs more than that for the wool. I mean, I didn't want a fortune, but I thought if it's church funds, at least they deserved more than £1 for a headband. So that put me right off. No, it wasn't surprising if you knew the club I used to go to. It wasn't surprising at all. That club was very, very snobby. They used to all knit in hand-dyed yarn. And they only ever knitted things like socks or a hat that used one ball. They didn't make cardigans. They didn't make anything. And it was like, oh, you made it in acrylic, have you? It was one of those kind of clubs. I didn't fit in. I did not fit in at all, at all, at all. Work every alternate row until 17 stitches remain. Right. I hate people who are yarn snobs. If you want to use hand-dyed yarn and you can afford hand-dyed yarn, by all means use it. It doesn't bother me. But don't preach that everybody else should do it. Because people don't have the same access to money that you do, I gave up going on Ravelry for that reason, because I got so fed up of people being snobby about what yarn you were using. Obviously, they have a lot more money than I do. I can't be coping with that. Yeah, exactly. You do. And you also do what you can afford, what your pocketbook says you can afford. It's like these people who, I only use these certain kind of crochet hooks, and they're handmade out of driftwood and they cost about $20 a hook, and I'm like, don't make your crochet any better. Maybe you do like using them. That's up to yourself, isn't it? If you want to use those kind of hooks, then fine. But they are not better than anybody else's hook. When people say to me, which hook do you use? I say, use whichever you feel fits your hand, whichever you feel comfortable using. That is the hook for you. I've been through a lot of different hooks before I found one that suited me. But just because it suits me doesn't mean it will suit you, I don't say, oh gosh, you must use this hook. It's the only one to use. No, I don't say things like that. If you're perfectly happy with the ordinary hooks that you buy, then fine. I'm not going to criticise you. I mean, I bought those Knit Pro knitting needles. Hi, Bear. Oh, thank you for following me on Facebook. I must start using my other. Hello, Trevor. I did mention to you before, and everybody was like quite excited that I'd spoken to you. Hi, Bear. Hi, Trevor. Thank you for following me. It's Craft Knit Sew. You realise, of course, I'm the beautiful person here. I'm the queen, she says. I have to say it, nobody else does. I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I wish I did. I'm all out to Google how to get rid of wrinkles, How to get rid of wrinkles without Botox, yeah. Buy this cream that costs £100 a pot, and your wrinkles will all go away. Like heck they will, yeah. You're just being a mug for buying 99% water. If it was that easy, nobody would have a wrinkle, would they? Yeah. You got 4 numbers on the lottery. Didn't you not say you were going to split it with me, Trevor? Did we not say we'd go halves? I would have given you half of my fiver. Oh dear. I only win a lucky dip. That's all I ever win. I won a fiver the other week. That's not exactly it, is it? I won a fiver and a lucky dip. But my lucky dip didn't win me anything. I keep hoping. Lucky dip, might be lucky. Nah. And these people who win on the premium bonds, do you know I've had premium bonds for about 30, 40 years. I've won once. My son actually won once. And he's 55, and he was when he was a baby. He won. And I put them all back onto premium bonds for him, and we haven't won any since. People are saying, oh, I've won on it, I've won on it. No, it's not Camelot anymore, it's some other company. People are having a lot of trouble getting the money off them, actually. They're not very forthcoming, I believe, with the winning, so I hope you get yours all right. People are having to battle. I think it's more the people who actually put them on in the shop. They're having trouble getting their money back off the shop. So I'm hoping mine, if I ever do win, that mine would come through automatic because I do mine online, yeah. Chris is on here somewhere, and so is Nathan. Nathan, where are you? Trevor's here. He was on earlier on, but he disappears. Quite regularly, he disappears. Oh. Somebody sent me a message. Who is it? Nothing important. What am I doing? What am I decreasing now? Got to do it till 17 stitches. Right. Oh dear, that sounds awful. I don't know Annie, but it sounds awful. Is she a YouTuber? Is it somebody that I would know? Is she on COPD? Yeah. Is she on YouTube? Is it somebody that I would know? Or is it just somebody that you two know? Hey, Nathan's emerged. Kaz, she does post on Facebook. If you see her, I know she's not been very well. She's had a very bad cough, but she's not been working actually because she's had a sick note for having a cough. But apart from that, no, I haven't heard. I did message her, and she said that she'd not been well with a cough. So whether she'll be back, oh, you're not on Rosie Posy Crafts. No, I don't think I've ever watched her. No, she's had one of those, coughs that won't go away. And then she has had COVID. She was off work, yeah. I said we'd all been asking about her. Did tell her that. Are you fighting fit and in the pink, Trevor? Yeah, it's very sad, isn't it, when you lose friends? It's a lot younger. I mean, sadly, I'm at the age where I am starting to lose cousins and friends. When you get up to my number of digits, it's something, sadly, that I expect. When it's younger people. Hi, Yolanda. All right, Val. You're still not well. Do you think it's those injections or what? Still didn't get mine. Again on Thursday, they didn't have any. Yeah. Once again, Oprah and all her crew have had my injections again, but I can't get them. I'm actually knitting a cardigan, would you believe? Yeah, I'm a bit weird. I like things that are fluffy. Night, Val. You know I can't knit anything or crochet anything with a face. I'm no good at toys. Absolutely rubbish at toys. I'll be all right. Is it the Amish that don't put faces on their dolls? I'd be all right with them, wouldn't I? It's some community that doesn't put faces on their dolls. I might be all right with that. I can't do faces at all. Not even for animals, let alone dolls. Two, three, four, five, six, eight, 10, 13. Well, the storm hasn't happened that we're supposed to be getting. Don't know anybody else has had the storm that's in the UK, but we haven't here. They do the most fantastic quilts, don't they, the Amish? I've never had the patience, to do one of those patchwork quilts. They're absolutely gorgeous, aren't they? I was watching an old TV thing, with Tim West and Prue. And they were going to, I mean, it's years old. They were going to some festival or other. There was masses and masses of canal barges there, everywhere. It looked great fun. Like Morris dancing women on the towpath, and it looked such good fun. I can't remember where it was though. You know me, hopeless. Praying like a goldfish. You had snow. Yeah, the women make fantastic quilts, all by hand and that. Absolutely gorgeous they are. I had a friend that used to do them. Used to do wonderful quilts. People used to ask her to make one. They'll say, "We'll give you £100." She said, £100 doesn't even cover the cost of the fabric. She did beautiful, beautiful baby ones, but only for babies that she knew. She wouldn't do them for just anybody. Her baby ones were absolutely fabulous. Yeah, I believe you had an earthquake. I mean, I was talking to Lizzie before. She said they'd had an earthquake. Thank goodness we don't get those. We have little rumbly bits occasionally in the UK, but we certainly don't have, big earthquakes. God, I wouldn't know what to do. We had an earthquake. Ooh. We had one little rumble many, many years ago. I know because crockery fell out the cupboard and broke. Yeah, I was looking out at the barges. I thought, would you want to Trevor's on one of those? I wonder if Trevor's on one of these barges. But I think it was probably 2019 because I think they gave up doing canal barging after that because she's, what, 91, I think now, Prue. I would imagine it's scary. I wouldn't like to see anything like that or be on in the middle of anything like that. I don't like it when it's windy. Yeah, my friend used really good fabric. She didn't use rubbish, you know. It takes so long to do the quilting, especially if you're doing it by hand. I had a bright idea many years ago. I did about 3 of those little hexagonals by hand, and I thought, no, this is not for me. I'd have still been making the quilt now. I have got one, but mine's just a normal machine one that I bought. It's not a proper, proper hand done one or anything like that. I just fancied it. It's like satiny stuff in shades of purples and deep reds. I've got it on my bed, but it's not a posh one. It's not one that cost a fortune, if you know what I mean. Some people do on the video. I don't like over-edited videos. You know, where they chop their sentences about. They can't seem to string a sentence together without editing it. And it makes it very choppy and I think, don't do that. I don't mind if you make a mistake, but don't keep over-editing. It gets me down. Ten, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Another 2 rows I have to do before I get to 17. I'm up to 19 now. A midwife. Oh, can you imagine? Delivering all them babies. What? My niece delivered her friend's baby by accident. She got there just at the wrong time. Had to catch the baby. Luckily, it was a very straightforward birth. I think some people naturally sound a little bit preachy, don't they? I don't know about Kate because I've not watched any of her videos. So I'm not singling her out for anything. But I know some people do have a bit of a I'm better than you attitude when they're doing a video, don't they? I've not seen any of her videos. I'll probably have a look at them now. She does make beautiful quilts. I wish I had the patience to do. I've been sewing hems up on my trousers for 12 months and not done them yet. I've seen people who do the memory teddies, Christine, They make teddies and things out of their dad's old T-shirts and shirts, yeah. I never kept anything of my mum's or my dad's. Well, I've got a dressing gown of my dad's, but it's silky material. I've got nothing on my mum's, actually. I've got sweaters that my mum knitted for me that I won't part with, but I haven't actually got anything of hers. Yeah, I've seen the teddy bears. where they make memory teddy bears, yeah. My friend's into a lot of the sewing toys and things, teddies and stuff. Since she retired, she does a lot of them. She made me a little Shaun the Sheep. You know, from Wallace and Gromit. She made me a little sheep. Right, I've got to 17 stitches. Have I got a hole there? Oh, no, I haven't. Panic, I thought I got a hole. Right, until you've got 17, work one row. Ending with the wrong side row, yeah. For left sleeve only. Right, okay. The last homely house. I'll have to have a look at that. Why is it the last homely house? The last one on the block? Or the last one that is homely? Right, left front only. Decrease one stitch at each end of the next row. Right, okay. Oh, predictive text can get you in a lot of trouble, that. I always have to double check everything before I post it. Otherwise it changes your words into something. And you can get into trouble if it changes it into something horrible, yeah. Right, what have I got to do next? Decrease one stitch at the each end. Tolkien. I could never get into Tolkien. You know, a lot of these highbrow books and that you're supposed to read, aren't you? At school and that. I never got into them. If they were too deep, you know, I just couldn't. I'd start off with a will and a way and then, you know, never get any further. I admire people who can plough through these classics, you know. My idea of a classic is Jane Austen, you know. Charles Dickens. That's my idea of a classic. But Homer's, is it called Odyl or something? Or, no, they're too deep for me. Right, decrease one stitch at the end of the next row. Cast off 3 stitches at the beginning of the following row. Right, okay. You have to excuse me, I want to finish this sleeve. 1. You wouldn't believe casting off is so difficult in this eyelashy wool. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hobbits. I was never into. I never even read what's it called. Oh, that school thing. I never even read that or watched any of the films. Everybody raved about them. Harry Potter, that's it. I never even read any of those or watched any of the films. Yeah. Yeah, I like a lot of autobiographies. Funny enough, I've just read one by you know, that lady who did Bieber, you know, the fashion show. You would think it would be all banal about fashions and stuff, but no, she had a different upbringing, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I used to read a lot. One that I did like was David Niven. I read that years ago. David Niven's autobiography. That was really funny. Right, decrease 1 stitch at the beginning of the next row, then cast off 3 stitches at the beginning of the following row. Okay. Then what do you do with those 8 stitches? Oh, for both sleeves cast off. Yeah. I've not read the Kenneth Williams one, so I can't comment. But the David Niven one, I like that. I like a good novel. You know, the kind when you're sorry that they've ended because you're really into it and you want it to carry on going because you're so involved with the characters. And you're always glad if they make a sequel, aren't you? So you can carry on with the same characters. I mean, I don't like sort of, yeah, The Moon's a Balloon, that's the one I read, yeah. I don't like chocolate boxy ones, you know, like Mills and Boon. But I do like a good novel. And I don't mean anything too heavy or anything like that. I've gone off. I used to read a lot of those, you know, like The Fog and stuff like that. I forget who did them. James Herbert, wasn't it, or whatever. I used to read a lot of them, but then I went off them. 1, 2, 3. Cast off. Oh, yeah, there was a lot of innuendo, yeah. I mean, the BBC never even picked up on it, did he? Sandy and Jules, yeah. Oh, I'm only following an easy pattern, Christine. I'm not following a pattern. I'm only doing stocking stitch. It's not really hard. Decrease 1 stitch, cast off 3. I've got 8 stitches, yes I do. Repeat the last 2 rows once more and then cast off. Right, okay. Can do. And then I will have finished the sleeve. Yay! I might have been able to do that sleeve a bit longer, but it's too late to be bothered now. It'll have to be a short sleeve. I was too scared to run out of wool because I knew I couldn't get any more. I like a bit of light reading. I like reading things like about Hamish Macbeth. I've read all of them. And then there's another one by MC Batten. She does this lot of books about an archaeological person who solves murders and stuff. I mean, I used to like Agatha Christie, A. Fair, Earl Stanley Gardner. He wrote the Perry Mason books. I used to like things like that. I don't like things that are too deep, and I don't like things that are too schmaltzy. I just like something with a good story. No, you're Nancy Norma. Don't ask me why, Trevor. I cannot call her Norma. I always want to call her Nancy, and I don't know why. So I've decided I'm going to call her Nancy Norma now. She knows me well. I don't mean it in a malicious way. I'm just terrible with names. We had a lady came to Knit Club the other day, and she said, I can't remember everybody's name. And I said, don't worry about it. Mother said, I've been coming here for about 2 years and I've only just got them. I've only just sorted everybody out, so don't worry about it. I'm very bad with names. Right, come here, Janet. When I had the shop, one of my really good customers always insisted I was called Susan. And in the end, I used to just answer to it. I got fed up of correcting her. She's so funny, Miriam. She's very near the knuckle, isn't she, Miriam Margolis? But she's funny. I've done my sleeve. It's a short one, sadly. Sadly, it's a short one. Well, it's sort of there. So it's not short and it's not long, but I think I've got enough wool to do the other sleeve, which is the most important thing. But for tonight, I have stopped. Yeah, it's floofy. It's a floofy. Floofy. I just wanted a fluffy jacket. I don't know why I did. Why I wanted a fluffy jacket, I have no idea. Yeah, I think I've got enough to do the other sleeve, hopefully. Hopefully. Yeah, I was going to do that one without the holes, but I've finished up doing that one but with slightly longer sleeves. I just wanted something I could knit on big needles that I could hold with my hands up, because when I first started it I had the big bandage on. So all being well, I can do the other sleeve. Yeah, this woman, she came in every single week into my shop and called me Susan. And my staff used to correct her, say, you mean Janet? I gave up in the end. I just said, yeah, okay, fine. I must look like a Susan. I don't know. Do I look like a Susan? At least it wasn't anything rude, was it? Could have been worse, couldn't it? Yeah, I've got one more sleeve to do. Sew it up and do the neckband. Because it doesn't have front bands, because you did the front bands as you were going along. Not that you could tell, because you couldn't tell the difference between the knitting and the purling. I had to put a stitch marker on to show me knit row from my purl row, because I couldn't tell. But I knew it would show if I went and did a purl row and a knit row. Oh. Yeah, I remember that song, You Can Call Me Al. Hi, Denise. I get all variations of my name. Anything that begins with a J, I get. Joan, Jean, Jeanette. Anything I get. When I was younger, I used to correct them, and I would just go, hello. At least she corrected it. She didn't carry on calling you Debbie. No, I've decided I've given them up. I never did anything. I used to lug all my stuff, put it all out, and people used to just walk past. They didn't even look at it and, make a comment like, oh, that's nice, or it's nice, but I haven't got enough money on me at the minute. They didn't even bother looking. They used to just keep walking past the stall, and it gets disheartening when people don't even look. Oh, you call Bear Bear, right? Yeah, I can never understand why parents call a son, like Robert, and the name's Robert, the surname's Roberts. I mean, with a woman, you can understand that because they change the name when they get married, so they can accidentally get called, the same surname as the Christian name. But, why would you call your son like the same name as your surname? I never did understand that. Like Robert Roberts or William Williams. You think, yeah. I mean, I thought sort of long and hard when I was naming my son, not to get initials that spelled anything else out, because you get people who have like three initials that kind of go together until you put them as initials, and then they kind of sometimes can be rude. I was very careful when I was choosing my son's name not to, you know. I went to school with a girl called Sandra Ann Maiden, so she went through, yeah, Magnus Magnusson, yeah. She went through school being called Sam, not Sandra. She got called Sam because on her school bag she had S.A.M on the back of a school bag, embossed on by her mother. So everybody called her Sam. She went through the whole of school being called Sam. My mother used to go mad if we called her Sam. It's not Sam, it's Sandra. She was an absolute dragon, her mother. I remember this girl had a hand knitted cardigan with a massive hole in the sleeve. And one of the other girls said, if you give me a sweater cardigan, I'll take it home and get my mum to darn it, so the hole won't get any bigger. And her mother stormed into school. How dare they criticise? I mean, this girl had been walking around with a great massive hole in her sleeve for weeks. It wasn't just appeared overnight. Because this other girl thought she was doing a good. She said, "My mum will darn it. She'd be lovely. Well, you won't even know it's been a hole." Yeah, she stormed in school. How dare anybody criticise my? Are you criticising me? Blah blah blah. You thought she'd have been grateful somebody darned the hole up for her. But she was a dragon. She was an absolute dragon. We used to dread her coming in, on parent-teacher nights. I used to feel so sorry. Yeah. I used to go so sorry for her because her mother was such a, oh. I used to think, poor girl, she's got to live with her. She's like that. You bet she's like that at home, don't you? I bet the girl didn't even tell her she got a hole in her sleeve. Mm. When I see kids, though, today going around with all these holes in the jeans, and I used to be, trying to patch my son's jeans up so that it wasn't noticeable. Then he only used to wear them to play out in, if you know what I mean. He had his playing out jeans that were mended, and his better jeans that he could only wear when he was going out, you know. And now they just wear ripped up jeans for best, don't they? The more ripped they are, the better. I used to be absolutely ashamed of the fact I had to send my child out to play in a pair of ripped up jeans that were mended, patched, because I couldn't keep affording to buy new ones just for him to rip them up, yeah. I mean, now they're all frayed and ripped and, you know, really, really designer type jeans with rips and holes in them. And God, if I had a rip in anything, I'd be trying to darn it as invisibly as I could so that nobody would notice that there was a hole in it. My dad used to always say that when I bought some really expensive, like strappy high heel sandals. He used to say, you're paying for the bits of leather that aren't there, yeah. My son used to ride a bike all the time. I mean, a push bike when he was younger. And don't ask me how, he always managed to rip his knees to shreds when he was playing anywhere. Or he'd get his trouser leg fast in the chain of the bike and rip it to bits. And I was forever fixing his clothes. And I didn't dare get him anything like, you know, those track suits, because they wouldn't last 2 seconds. He'd slide along the floor and then they just go like roughed up, don't they? Then they go in a hole. Because you take the layer of knitting off, don't you, if you buy him tracksuit pants or something. Oh my God, he was a rip stitch, my child. He used to kick the holes in the toes of his shoes. He used to rip the knees out of his trousers. He always used to look like nobody owned him, as my mother used to say. That child looks like nobody owns him. I say, well, I can't keep buying him new all the time, yeah. Oh gosh, yeah, my son went through a phase where everything had to be, you know, Levi's or Farrah pants and stuff like that. Oh God, that was an expensive time, especially when he ripped them all to bits. Yeah. I've never really been a labelled person, you know. I've never worn jeans really, so I can't say that I've ever had, you know, Levi jeans or this jeans or that jeans. I've never really. I've had one or two pieces that are sort of a label, you know, a bit like Jacques Ver, if I was going somewhere to a wedding or something like that. But no, not by and large. I've never had the money to buy a label. I mean, when I had Mary Quant design dresses, they were knockoffs. They weren't real Mary Quant. They were in the style of Mary Quant. Yeah. I think the most I ever got to a label was like Laura Ashley once. I had a skirt, yeah. The charity shops here are absolute no good for me. Did I wear hats? Not really, no. I've never been a hat person. They don't suit me. You know, I was little and fat. I mean, I'm not that small now, but I was fatter than what I am now. So if I wore a big hat, I tended to look like a mushroom, you know. So I never wore a hat. Oh, God, don't talk about that rosy wrap, yeah. I look like Slopstone Nelly when I wear a rosy wrap. Other people manage to make them look fashionable. I just look like I should be mopping the floor when I wear them. No, the people here don't wear the kind of clothes that I wear, so therefore they don't finish up in a charity shop, yeah? If you know what I mean. There's no boho-y, floaty skirts, long. There's never even any maxi dresses or maxi skirts, which is what I wear. So when I go in a charity shop, there's never anything. A, there's never anything in my size, and B, there's never anything that's my style. You know, there tend to be a lot of plain jeans or plain trousers, plain blouses and stuff like that, which I don't wear. There's never anything that's frilly or unusual or, like you say, full length. There's never anything. The most I ever come out with in a charity shop is usually a scarf or a stole of some description. If they're not wearing them, they don't donate them, do they? Yeah. You had a lazy Susan. We had a lazy Betty. If you're old, you know what a lazy Betty is. A lazy Betty is a string that hangs down from the ceiling above your bed with a switch on it that switches the big light off. So you don't have to get out of bed, switch it off at the wall, and then feel your way back and get in bed. We had a lazy Betty. Mm. There were no such thing as bedside table lamps in there. When I was a kid, we just had a lazy Betty. Mm. It was the big light in the middle of the room or nothing. And bear in mind, I slept in the same room as my parents, which is probably a reason why I don't have any younger siblings. Every time they put the light on to go to bed, it used to wake me up. So I grew up in a little village called Royton, which is near Oldham in Lancashire. That's where I grew up. And then when I was 7, we went to live in Wales, in a tiny little village in Wales. Welsh speaking. Didn't learn a word of Welsh. Went to a Welsh speaking school. Didn't learn a word of Welsh. Then after a year, we then came back again to the same house that we'd left. And then when we got the shops, we moved to Chatham, which is again just, I didn't move far. The furthest I ever moved was when I got married and I moved to Prestwich. You had fly strips hanging off. I don't think we maybe did. I don't think I noticed that. Whether we had fly strips hanging off the ceiling, we might have done. I don't remember. Don't remember that. We had a rack hanging on our ceiling, you know, that you pull down and put your clothes on. Then you pulled it back up again to dry above the fire. Yeah, we had a rack, yeah. Clothes rack, clothes rail. You know, all your clothes in the front room, hanging above the fire. Everybody that came in could see all your underwear drying, you know. Yeah, it was great. Hi, Amanda Jane. Hello there. Yeah, you're coming on just as I'm getting ready to go off again, Amanda. Yeah, we had a clothes horse as well, but we also had a rack that went up because the heat rises, doesn't it, from the fire. So if we had the fire lit, the heat rose and we used to dry the clothes lovely up there. We had a clothes horse as well, yeah. Oh, we had a cat that went, you know, those little fuzzy things, what are they called? They're like catkin things and they're fuzzy. And they've got little spikes all over them, like thistles, aren't they? We had a cat once that come in that was covered in them. Mangle, yeah, we had a mangle at the back door. The neighbours used to come and ask to borrow it to mangle the sheets, yeah. Yeah, it was at the back door. Great, heavy, massive, big mangle with a big handle. And then we got posh, we got a washer that had an electric mangle at the top, yeah. Oh, I've mangled my fingers many a time. Yep. Oh, we didn't have a spin dry for a long, long time. You're younger. You're a heck of a lot younger than me. No, it was a mangle back in the day. You had a washing machine, or you had a dolly tub and a posser. You don't know what an M is, do you, Nathan? A big dolly tub that's like a big barrel, and a posser that looks like a three-legged stool on a long pole. And you used to put your washing up and down like that to get it clean, yeah, before there was washing machines, yeah. We didn't have a twin tub for a long, long time, yeah. I wish I had a spin dryer. This washer doesn't get things dry. Yeah. Yeah, I had a twin tub when I first got married. I inherited my mother's twin tub. She went up market and bought herself an automatic, yeah. But she had a great automatic machine, my mother. It was a top loader, and they are much better than the side loaders. The top loader's great, yeah. You can control the temperature, you can control what you put in, and you can control the length of time it agitates things. Whereas with a pre-programmed thing, you're stuck with the damn thing, aren't you? I had a coal house when I first got married because we had a coke boiler when I first got married, with the coal hole outside. We converted it after a while and had a gas boiler put in there. The coke boiler was terribly inefficient. We used to have to get up in the middle of the night to run the hot water off because it used to be, oh. Yeah, lots of American washing machines I've noticed are top loaders, aren't they? Yeah, we didn't have duvets. You had a quilt, didn't you? A quilt and a coat, yeah. Yeah, you didn't have them shiny satin quilts that used to fall off the bed because they used to slide off, didn't they? And then we progressed to candlewick bedspreads. We had a candlewick bedspread. Army blankets. I don't know where my dad got them from, but we had army blankets, yeah. Yeah, the big grey army blankets with the blanket stitching all around the top. They were nice and warm, though, I tell you. Yeah, the Billy Connolly sketch about his duvet having sleeves. Everybody was, when I was brought up, I mean, everybody was poor. We weren't poorer than anybody else. I never even knew we were poor until I grew up. And then looking back, you realise you were poor. But at the time, because everybody else is in the same boat, you don't feel like the poor relation because all your friends have got more than what you have, because we just didn't. It was just the way of life of the working class. Where I came from, all my friends were in the same boat. Nobody had more than anybody else. Nobody had a posh three-piece suite. Nobody had posh carpets I mean, bathrooms. You thought you were we had a bathroom put in when I was about 12. My God, the rest of the row thought we were the poshest things ever. The Buckleys, they've got a bathroom. Bathroom. Oh, too good for the outside loo. Yeah, they've got a bathroom. We only got it because my uncle worked, and his boss let him have a bathroom suite like at cost price, and he put it in for us free because he was my uncle. Yeah, that's the only reason why we had a bathroom suite. We wouldn't have been able to afford to have one put in, if you know what I mean. And it was a very basic bathroom suite, very, very basic. Probably the cheapest one on the market, but hey ho, we had a bathroom. Well, I never did have a paraffin heater. I don't know why. We never did. Boom, 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 I saw blue. Boom, 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 I saw blue. No, we never had a paraffin heater. At least I don't remember us ever having one. I know the shops had colour gas heaters. We used to have colour gas, yeah. Yeah, everybody was the same social status. I never felt poor. I never expected things like kids today expect new clothes, expect new toys. If you're not brought up in that kind of social environment, whatever, you don't expect things. Because at Christmas, you know, when you were asking your friends what they got for Christmas, they got the same as you. They got an annual, they got some chocolates, they got one toy. You know, it was never like, oh my God, they've got a doll, a pram, a thing, or that, the other. Yeah. We all got one toy. You know, you got one thing. And then you got, like you say, your box of chocolates, maybe like smoker's outfit. You maybe got a jumbo printing set. Oh, good night, Lizzie. You got tangerine, some nuts, shiny pennies, you know, whatever. Yeah, we were a bit like that munchkin until we finally got a bathroom, yeah. But even so, we were talking about it to my friend who was saying about even when we got a bath, you only really had about 5 inches of water because we had a back boiler with the coal fire that heated just that amount of water. Yeah. So you just run the water in the bath until it went cold. And even when we got an immersion heater, as they say, like you switched it on an electric immersion heater, it was only one tank of water that went into the bath with a bit of cold. Yeah. So you never had a bath that was more than about 4 or 5 inches deep, did you? There was no like wallowing in it up to here, you know. None of that, yeah. Yeah, saying good night to Lizzie on her earthquake. Yeah, I don't think I even got a piece of clothing unless sometimes I got some new socks or knickers or something. But I always got an annual or a book of some description, yeah. Or you'd get a book token off one of your aunties, wouldn't you? That you couldn't use until after Christmas because the shops were all shut. So you couldn't get anything with your book token. For some reason or other, people used to buy your bath cubes. Do you remember that? It's before bath bombs. It was bath cubes. There were little cubes like that, and you put them in the bath. And I could never use them because I've always had a bit of psoriasis and eczema. And so if I put them in my bath, they used to smell lovely, but they used to make me itch. Yeah. Oh, I was the first in the bath because I was the littlest and went to bed early. I don't know whether anybody else had the water after me. But when I was little, we had two sizes of baths. We had a tin bath, the big one that the adults bathed in. But when I was little, we had a little bath that I sat in. Or I would sit in the bed, a great big massive, they call them a Belfast sink now, don't they? When I was tiny, I used to get bathed in the sink, in the kitchen, yeah. Used to sit me in there. We used to have a gas heater thing on the wall, you know, that used to heat enough water to wash your dishes. So there was enough water like to wash, yeah. You were the last in, I was the first in the bath because I was little. My brother was like 9 years older than me. So he obviously wouldn't be going to bed. I was in bed like 7 o'clock at night. I don't know whether anybody used the water after me. But then I'd have the little bath. I wouldn't have the big bath until I was much older. Mm. Well, my dad used to do all that because he was a butcher. I always remember Christmas time. I used to go up to my dad at butcher's shop. My mum would make him sandwiches because he'd be working late. And she used to say, go and take these sandwiches up to your dad. And I'd open up the butcher's door and it'd be just feathers everywhere. There'd be him and about 3 other men sitting on a bench plucking these feathers out of the turkeys or whatever they were. And the floor used to be just nearly knee deep in feathers. Yeah. We used to have one new toy, yeah. Or we always had a game of some description. It'd be a cheap one, like Snakes and Ladders or something. You knew what was in your... I had a pillowcase. You knew what was going to be in your pillowcase before you even looked, you know. You know, it was never anything. Whatever you were getting fitted in the pillowcase, there was never anything left over, you know. But it's just... How can I put it? Kids today get far too much. I see pictures and they say, oh, Father Christmas has been, and there's like about 50 parcels under the Christmas tree. And I'm like, how many kids do they have? And they have like 1 or maybe 2 children. And I'm like, there's about 50 presents under that tree. It's ridiculous. You know, to me, I mean, even my son, when he was... Yeah, I had a tangerine, it was, a tangerine, nuts, which I didn't really eat, but tangerine, nuts in the shells, you know, like a few walnuts or whatever. And there was always a shiny penny or maybe a shilling or whatever in the bottom that you looked for. Sometimes there was half a crown, that's 2 and 6pence. 12.5p, I think, if you're in modern money. But that was riches to us as kids. Yeah. As you say, it's just different times, different expectations. We were always happy with what we got, you know. As I say, it wasn't a kind of a contest where if you went to school and said what you'd got, everybody else had got similar. Or some children hadn't even got what I'd got. You know, some children had only got a little bit of something. But it's kind of what they were used to. Yeah, my childhood was very, very happy. We'd no money, I presume we'd no money, but I didn't know. I didn't know we'd no money until I grew up. Then looking back, you realise you've got no money. But I was very happy as a child, yeah. I was fed. I had clothes. There was no, oh, I don't want to put that on, or you just put on what your mother put on the end of the bed, didn't you? There was no arguing. I've laid your clothes out, put them on, you know. There was none of this, oh, I don't want that, it's not fashionable, or, oh, you just put it on. No choice, put it on. Yeah. I can remember once asking for shorts. I was a bit of a tomboy, and I wanted a pair of shorts so I could play football and that with the boys, because we always wore dresses in those days. And the boys would be, oh, I can see your knickers, you know, and all that jazz. I wanted a pair of shorts. Anyway, my auntie, actually, she was a tailoress. She actually made me a pair of shorts. And I can still see them today. They were pink and white, like seersucker stripes with a little bib on and buttons. I think I've got a photograph somewhere of me wearing them. They had to be little girl shorts, though, didn't they? I wanted a pair of boy shorts, but I'm not allowed. But I love those shorts, yeah.